Hey guys, welcome to our last challenge. Um, and it's last because we are done chapter 1 of Divergent and promised that we would diagram this entire thing together. And then starting tomorrow, I'm going to be posting some videos on different writing strategies, talking a little bit more about noun cases, certain aspects of the verbs. I did receive a few questions about the participles, so we'll do that as well. So different parts of speech. And then you could use that as you guys go through grade 8, grade 9, or senior high. You can, go back to these videos, look at them, get a better perspective on grammar and writing. And that should help you, hopefully, becoming better writers, better at comprehension, better at vocabulary, and just noticing these fine details as you go forward, and just become successful in how you express yourself and how you argue and how you see the world, because this writing is part of it, is a huge part of it. And if this is going to be the last video you ever watch, and you don't feel like going to the other ones, which I hope you do, just know that even in my experience, speaking to engineers, speaking to scientists, speaking to people of different professions, all of them still say that they need writing, and they still require help in getting writing and editing and things like that. So please watch the videos, ask questions, and always double check your work to ensure that your writing and English is developing well. So this last section of chapter 1 features 3 relatively short sentences. Yesterday's challenge was all about use of participles, and it was quite long. 1 sentence with 5 participles, I believe it was, and 2 subjects and predicate. Today, because we have 3 sentences, we can tell right off the bat that's what we're going to get, is 3 subjects and 3 predicates. So let's divide our sentences out into sections based on the punctuation. Once again, I'm not really reading, okay? In case you haven't noticed, I'm not really reading all of this right off the bat. I'm letting my eye simply just look at how the foundations are built, right? You need to look at the foundations and kind of move from there. Why am I not reading this first? First, I want to get an understanding of how the sentence is structured, okay, and why. It kind of pertains to logic and the characteristics of, for example, what the author is trying to do. It could help you predict, oh my goodness, he's using a temporal clause here, or a causal clause there, or a conditional, and gets your mind ready for that exchange of ideas. And again, I'm not expecting you guys to see it right away. This is not like, boom, in one video, you're going to be, yay, I either get it, or if I don't get it, I'm going to get discouraged and not do it because I can't get it. Getting something comes with practice, and the more you do it, the better you become at it. And the more questions you ask, the more answers you will get. If you just give up because something is difficult, you'll never get there. You'll just kind of pretend like it doesn't exist, but at the end of the day, it does exist, and we kind of have to tackle it. So once again, I'm not reading, I'm just dividing it out, and I see how it's kind of formed. Next, there's only 1 comma here, so it tells me that something within the sentence is going to get divided, and then I'm just going to look for subject predicate, okay? So once again, we start with 1. That could be an adjective, or it could also be a noun, okay? 1, and then we have this of, and I think by now, because we've watched so many different videos on it, every time I see an of, is a possessive, because what possesses the one? It's the boys, okay? So there's one within the group of boys who, and there's the predicate, wraps, and that's it, okay? I'm not going to do anything else. I found my subject and predicate, I'm moving on. Next, again, I see what looks like a verb because it ends in ing, but nothing in front of it, which means that this, again, remember from yesterday, this is a participle, and it's going to be describing something in the previous sentence. We don't know what it is yet, but we know this is not a subject or predicate. Next, we have another thing that looks like a participle, okay, followed by this auxiliary verb is, okay? Now, remember, participles are verbs turned into nouns, which means that they are going to take the function of whatever nouns we are. So watching, okay, is a subject. Even though it ends in ing, it's a participle. We can use Shakespeare's famous line, to be or not to be, which is clearly an infinitive. We can say to watch or not to watch, or you can say to watch them is. But in this case, the author simply once again, took the verb to watch and changed it to a participle and put it at the very beginning, which means that it is the subject of my sentence, and our predicate is. Okay? Linking verb, nothing ing after this, so it's a linking verb. I, subject, and predicate, turn. And I believe there is an end right there. Right here I notice an end, that's a conjunction. And then we have press, okay? Press is another predicate. And once again, remember the infamous or the famous, whichever one you want to look at, Oxford comma, not required after window because there is no express subject before the verb, okay? There you go. So we got wraps is turn press as my predicate. So originally I thought, yay, we're only going to get 3 subjects and 3 predicates. It turned out that we have 3 subjects and 4 predicates, one of which is dependent on this subject right there. So let's go back to the first sentence. So we got one of the boys, predicate wraps, and wraps what? Okay, so there's the arm, that is the direct object, and the possessive is whose arm? It's his arm, okay? Around is a preposition. Around shoulders, okay? Object of preposition, and whose shoulders are those? Those are the girl's shoulders. There is the possessive. And then we get to our participle, laughing, okay? So who's doing the laughing? Is it the shoulders that are laughing, or is it one of the boys who's laughing? And I think we got the answer. It's definitely one of the boys. So this is a predicate nominative describing one of the boys. Watching them. See, remember, this is a subject, but because it's a participle, it's also going to take a direct object if it can. So watching them, there's my direct object, is, what is it? It's a practice, which is a predicate nominative describing watching. And foolish is simply an adjective that modifies practice, okay? So this is where the author is telling you, here I am bored in class and or bored outside and looking at this thing happening through the window, and I shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so this is the kind of like a little insert. So I turn, and remember, turning is a verb of, you guessed it, motion, right? Walking, turning, so it doesn't take a direct object. There's our preposition away from, okay, what? The window, which is the object of position. And then I press, once again, pressing, verb of motion as well, through, there's the preposition what? The crowd. To is my preposition, the classroom. And it's not just the classroom, it's the faction history classroom. So object of preposition. Now, remember that to is an indirect object, but because here's the verb of motion, it's an indirect object of press and turn. So I am indirectly affecting the classroom of faction history because I am going there. That's it, guys. This is a relatively short video because we had such short sentences. So our verbs is one, wraps, so that's third person singular. It's present, simple, indicative. And yes, it is active, not passive. Active, okay? Then we have watching them. So watching is another third person, is, that's 2 third person singulars. And then I turn and I pass is first person singular present simple indicative. So I'm just going to copy and paste this here and put first, first person singular, present simple, indicative. So 4 predicates as we established at the start. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Expect some parts of speech to come through, a little mini lessons on different types of speech, like nouns and verbs and adverbs and adjectives and so on, and even participles to an extent as well. So I look forward to that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking these challenges. I really hope they helped you out. And if you want to practice on your own, grab a book, grab any book you like, and just follow it sentence by sentence. And every day, your writing and your grammar is going to improve. Thank you so much. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.